Hi guys, my name is Alisha Lehman.
Jude has come under criticism from Alisha Lehman. Jude was stunned by the criticism expressed by Alisha Lehman. He decided to respond by emphasizing his willingness to dialogue and respect for everyone in the sports community. I always value the opinions of my colleagues, including Alisha, and I am ready for an open discussion. Sports should be a place for everyone, and I hope we can find a common solution that supports inclusivity and solidarity amongst all. The England national team was by a wide margin the most talked about team of the past European Championships. Before the tournament started, fans were actively discussing how its game would look like this time around. During the Euros, Southgate was getting flack from all corners for his style, and after the final, the soccer community began to argue about the assessment of the English result. Obviously, the inordinate attention is also due to the brightest stars in the squad. There and the best player of the season APL Phil Foden, and the owner of the Golden Boot, Harry Kane, and 140 million Saka. And Champions League winner Jude Bellingham, who is considered one of the main contenders for the Ballon d'Or. For the Real Madrid midfielder, the championship was probably the most controversial among all English celebrities. Jude scored 2 goals, one of which saved the team from departure in the January 8th finals, and marked a goal in the final. True, looked Bellingham is not as convincing as in Madrid, especially in the first half of the season. Apart from purely soccer matters, he is being charged for behavior. The player is accused of unjustified arrogance. For example, after the above-mentioned goal of Slovakia in the 95th minute, Bellingham shouted, "Well, who else?" Jude accompanied the phrase with an obscene gesture, touching himself on the groin. This gesture was just a joke that I addressed to my close friends who were present at the match. "I only have respect for the Slovaks for the way they played against us," the player later explained. Despite the words of Bellingham, UEFA still issued him a fine of €30,000, adding to it 1 match of suspension suspended. When England lost to Spain in the final, Jude kicked boxes of water near the bench and did not hide his rage at the defeat. Former Germany player Dietmar Hamann poured criticism on Bellingham. He is on the wrong track at the moment. He had a good first half of the season at Real Madrid. But in the quarter-finals, semi-finals, and Champions League final, he was nowhere to be seen. They won the Champions League thanks to Andre Lunin, Toni Kroos, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, not Bellingham. A lot of the things he said and did I don't like. I don't like his behavior at all. The German also added, "I would like to know what all his teammates think because there are 10 players around him who are top-class players themselves." The Athletic publication gave Hamann that opportunity by giving an insider's view of Bellingham's relationship problems with other players in the national team. It was written that only Trent communicates well with Jude, while the others are not fond of him, to put it mildly. Jude Bellingham and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Reuters. So what's the big deal? Perhaps the answer is found in the footballer's past. Bellingham, after all, has always been prickly. At Borussia Dortmund, 18-year-old Jude could foul Nico Schultz for an inaccurate pass, shove Axel Witsel, who is 14 years older, or hit the bar in Der Klassiker after a mistake by Rafael Guerrero. And then there's the story of referee Felix Weyer, which gained rabid popularity in the run-up to the Euro semi-finals. In 2021, Jude lashed out at the referee for what he saw as poor work in Dortmund's match against Bayern Munich and recalled a case from 2004 when he was accused of taking a bribe. You point to the main game of the Bundesliga a man who was involved in organizing match fixing. What do you expect? A phrase for which Bellingham was fined €40,000. Weyer took a pause in his career after it. Sometimes Jude boils up and spews emotional lava. This has always been the case to varying degrees, and after moving to Real Madrid. When his life has added successes, it has become even more difficult to accept failure. Is it arrogance? Hardly. More like obsession with the game and the mentality of a winner. Egoism, perhaps. But it's what makes a merely talented kid a real monster by the time he's 20. Would anyone be surprised if Ronaldo, having equalized through himself in added time, yelled, "Who else but me?" The question is rhetorical. Comparisons with Cristiano in the context of the topic are inevitable. The Portuguese's former partner at MJ, Wes Brown, doesn't hold back either. I don't think it's arrogance. I think it's confidence. Cristiano Ronaldo is the same. He was criticized a lot at first, but he would come out and say, okay, I'm going to prove them wrong. He knew he was going to make mistakes, but in the end he concentrated on what he was doing, regardless of a missed goal-scoring chance or a bad tackle. This is soccer, and I'm going to get better and better. Jude shows it too. He also shows his frustration sometimes because he knows he's capable of something like that. Not in every match, not in every moment, but if Jude hadn't scored, England would have been out of the Euros, Brown said after the match against Slovakia. Bellingham once admitted that he would literally go mad if soccer was taken away from him. Notable. Beastly zeal and confidence mixed with a terrific level of play is the way to the top. A lot of people have the latter. Not many people have the first two. And Jude knows very well how, for example, Marco Reus spent his career. The Englishman is much closer to Toni Kroos, who is not happy about the goal of Fulkrug Switzerland at the very end, because it brings only a draw, not a victory. And what's the point if not a triumph?